Okay, we might kick off. Since I don't know many or some of the faces in the room, we might just take the microphone and have Brooke run around and people introduce themselves. Be the microphone guy. We're just introducing ourselves, who you are, and where you're from.
I'll start to give you a baseline. I'm Brooke. Don't speak too long. I tend to speak too long when I introduce myself. People get very bored. I'm a Tasmanian. I work for NSRC, and I'm the immediate past chair of EduGain, because I guess Terry is the past chair of EduGain, and I don't know who is the chair now. No one. Anyway, so some people in this room know me. Only Kazu and Depthy. Yeah, but I'll present later so you know a little more about me.
So I will not stand up. As soon as Brooke sits down, everyone sees me. I'm Paul Axelsson from Sweden. I do federation, identity, and identity all day long, all year long. I'm one of those that working with EduGain development, and reef specification developments. I'm here to listen what you are saying and learn more than anything. And to be able to travel here, I must say something of there, because then it's no problem to travel. But I'm mostly here to listen and learn.
Assalamualaikum and good morning. My name is Azli from Muslim Kelantan, Malaysia. So hopefully I will learn something from here. This is a good platform to share each other based on your experience and our expert. Something. Okay, thank you.
Assalamualaikum and very good morning, everyone. I'm Khadijah from UC Science Islam Malaysia, from Malaysia. So currently I'm head of digital services division. Okay, so I'm here to learn and relearn anything related to yesterday I went for this edu-roam workshop, and today I would want to learn more about Steve Fulan, and Farhan is here. So I hope I can gain something. Yeah, and meeting Prof. Kazu this morning. So I hope we can make a new so-called marine in Malaysia, something good for our nation. Okay, that's all. Thank you.
Very good morning to everyone. I am Deepthi from Sri Lanka, and I am here representing LEARN, Lanka Education and Research Network. I am the responsible person for maintaining and engaging with LIAF. That's the Identity Federation Management in Sri Lanka we are using. And mostly actually I am here to learn. And because almost all the things in LIAF we are doing what we are gaining from here. So that's for now, and thank you.
Hi, my name is Yuko Kamoto from National. From NII. Hi, thank you.
Hi, my name is Miyuki Kaneko. I'm from Tokyo, Japan. I'm an assistant for Kazu and to study anything on the question.
Hi, good morning, everyone. My name is Takafumi. Please call me Taka. I'm doing policy management, and I also investigate some countries' policy. So very nice to meet you.
I'm Kaz. So how to say?
I'm a dingo in Australian. I left the federation for a long time ago, and now in charge of the much more upper layer steps like data platform. But the federation is kind of the crucial part of the connection between the platforms. So yeah, but anyway, I'm a supporter today for him.
Thank you. I'm Note Suzuki. I'm come from Japan and NII. And I work in an authentication team, and I work in Gakinen, Edge Roam, and UPKI. It's certification service. That's all. Thank you.
We're introducing ourselves, but you don't know anyone. So the people will know you.
Actually, you are doing Leaderom today, right?
No, Identity Federation.
Identity validation. So actually, I have no experience. This is new to you, new to me. Actually, I heard that from her. So, but I want to use this for our institution. So I think they are already using that. So yeah, they are the engineers who manage.
Yep.
We are the lecturers, so we don't know the infrastructure, underlying infrastructure. But I would like to know, as the head of the department in IT, I would like to know about the infrastructure as well. So
Yeah,
I'm Dr. Sugandhima. Sugandhima Vidanagamach.
oh, you're in the university in South.
Yeah.
However, we can also do Farhan and Dia. We're just introducing ourselves so people at least know you.
Okay. Good morning. Namaste. I'm Neeraj Acharya and from Nepal Research and Education Network. I'm network engineer over there. Thank you.
Now for the folk online, we'll start with Farhan.
Hi, good morning, everyone. My name is Farhan. I'm the VP for Engineering and Services at Sifulan Malaysian Access Federation.
Hideki.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Hideaki Goto. I'm working at Toho University, and I'm representing EDROM JP, and I'm in charge of EDROM operation in Japan for many years, and I'm also a member of a global EDROM governance committee at GEANT, and I'm representing many places, many organizations, including the EDROM world and also maybe I've been doing open roaming, so I'm representing the wireless global wireless broadband alliance as well recently. Okay, thank you.
And Patrick.
Hi everyone, I'm Patrick from Hong Kong Access Federation, which is the supporting member for this federation association. And also I'm the identity access management support for my university, which is the Hong Kong Polytechnic University. Thank you.
And finally myself, Terry Smith, chair of the APAN Identity and Access Management Working Group, previous chair to the Australian Steering Group, head of support of the Australian Access Federation, and we've been doing federation stuff for pretty much forever. Doing IT stuff. So for way too long. So today we've got 4 sessions. First session is short topics or short talks, short topics. And I get to start the ball rolling with what is refeds. Most of you or some of you will know what refeds is, but some may not. So I'm just going to go through a quick set of slides on what refeds is. Farhan's going to update us next on what's happening with Sifulan Connect, the infrastructure that we've been deploying as part of the Wi-Fi Expand project. Then Paul will give us a couple of talks, refeds assurance framework, what that's all about, and Edugain Futures and Edugain Governance. And it's back to me for ReFed's baseline. I think that should take us through to the end of this session. And the next session after that will be Federation updates. Anyone who has an update on their Federation. Then we have lunch and fairly extensive opening ceremony. We come back here after the opening ceremony and we'll be looking at certify the security framework for Federation operators, Edugain, and then you provide a service for everybody in the Federation to be able to successfully talk and communicate when there's a security incident. So I'll be going over that this afternoon. So let's just jump into ReFeds. What is ReFeds? Slides. Has to come. He has to leave at 11. Yep. So do you want to do your Federation update in this session? Do you not have one? Sorry? We'll leave that towards the end. See if we can squeeze you in. Like round they need to. A new starter.
I have your business card, but I've got to try and work out how to pronounce your name. Batdelja? Batdelja? Is that it? No. It's what? That's your surname. But why is it in lowercase? Usually okay. You're going to have to pronounce your name because I think the T might be silent at the start. Is the T silent in your name? Seren Puve.
Yeah, almost.
Almost? What is it?
Tirumpuru.
You're missing a lot of letters. Half the letters silent in your name. Say it one more time.
Tirumpuru.
Seren Peru.
Yeah.
Seren Peru.
Yeah, good.
Seren Peru. Seren Peru.
Just call me Ken. It's
Call,
better.
call you what?
Ken.
Ken?
Yeah, that's what you can.
Ken.
Just call me Ken.
Seren Peru, where you have a silent T at the start and a silent V at the end. I guessed because I know a guy in Mongolia and the first two letters of his surname are silent. And it's like,
Okay.
I'm not really a man of the world, as you can tell.
Just Aussies. Okay, so what is ReFeds? I've been taking this particular small presentation around to our universities within Australia to update them on what ReFeds is and what ReFeds does to help them with our community in Australia. And ReFeds is that it's a global organisation to help everybody do Federation stuff. So does anyone who doesn't know what ReFeds is can pick out what the ReFeds acronym stands for? What's the ReFeds acronym stand for? Anyone? There you go.
That's not new. Research and Education Federation, and that then I don't remember anything more.
That's it. It's research and education.
Yeah, federations, more or less.
It's a fairly simple acronym. The last three letters are a word. Yeah, ReFeds, Research and Education Federations, international community addressing the needs of existing and emerging identity federations in the education and research sector worldwide to collaborate on policy issues. So they're not doing any technology stuff. They're just really focusing on policy. They do a little bit of training work and bringing people up to speed. So they are looking after existing federations and emerging federations. There are a lot of emerging federations still within this region. So that's why I'm here, Brooks here, and I'll here to help and grow federation space in this region under REFEDS and get everyone to be part and participate in the REFEDS community. So REFEDS operates under a GR Association umbrella and it's funded by its sponsors. So if you've got some spare money in your NREM, you can help fund REFEDS. They've got 3 categories, so platinum, gold, silver, and bronze, I think. And I think there's another category which is as much as you can pay, which can be 0.
But the most important way of funding REFEDS is being in the working groups and doing stuff.
Your time.
For your time.
It's much more important than funding. These are the folk who currently sponsor REFEDS in the various sections, 4 levels: platinum, gold, silver, and bronze. Australian Access Federation, down the bottom, we pay a little bit just to be part of it. And REFEDS participants are invited to become REFEDS sponsors. They provide funding to keep the REFEDS work happening. Participation in REFEDS is open to anybody without payment. Organisations whose members participate in REFEDS activities, mailing list discussions, REFEDS meetings, working groups, etc., are considered REFEDS participants. Our participants and their members are our community. So there's lots of ways to participate with REFEDS and lots of benefits you can get out of it. Have their own Slack channels, there's plenty of email lists and so forth associated with REFEDS. So a little bit of background. It was established in 2005. It's a community-driven international group through thought leaders delivering cutting-edge innovation, trust, and identity solutions for research and education. So they're at the lead, paving the way for identity federation stuff globally. And they have a mission to provide open, collaborative hub stakeholders in the research and education identity federation ecosystem to learn, educate, and build standards and best common practices for federations internationally. And really, that's just to make sure federations work when researchers want them to work. They don't want researchers having to run into issues and problems. So they put a lot of effort into setting up policies, doing a lot of training and learning, which is what PALS are doing, learning about what's happening in our region to better make federations better for researchers globally. And they have a strategic plan. If you want to have a bit more detail of what they're actually trying to do. And they have 3 core values. Core value, first one is trust, through openness, transparency, and pragmatism in everything we do. So they've got the wiki, everything, all the meetings, all the meeting notes, minutes, etc. On the wiki, all the documentation, everything's on their wiki. Their community, so we are enthusiastic, collaborative, and inclusive community, make strategic decisions based on consensus. So there's a consensus model that they work through.
I need to do a comment about the wiki. Right now, you need to log in due to security issue. We have the spammers in the wiki. Yeah, so we need to close it down to only logged in users, but it's federated, of course.
And leadership, global leaders with experts in trust and identity. So there's people from all around the world with the identity expertise that are part of this community. So when you come to this community, you're joining a community of experts who know what they're talking about, know what they're doing, and are there to help you get up to speed with your identity federations. The stakeholders, global federation operators are their stakeholders. So AAF, CIFILAN, GACANIN, all the other federations globally that are part of our stakeholders in the REFEDS. You've got your local, regional, and international research infrastructure providers. So in Australia, we have a number of research providers that are part of, do the refeds thing just because they're part of the AF. But we also have global research activities. I think CERN is in there, LIGO, those sort of high level, high profile activities, sort of research activities that generally involved in doing some stuff with refeds. It's about making their voice heard so that their researchers can get the access without any hindrance for their researchers. Libraries and providers of scholarly resources. So it's not just all about research, it's also about teaching and learning as well. Software engineers in trust and identity. Trust and identity policymakers, identity providers of trust and identity solutions. So it's a fairly broad stakeholder group that refeds is looking after or working with. We've got some critical success factors. We want to be sustainable standards development processes and adoption. And they're continually rolling out new processes and new standards and getting them adopted. It's a fairly effective process they have. Meeting attendance and community representation. So this meeting is part of just being part of refeds. They also have another meeting, TNC, which is a European-based meeting. That's a yearly thing. Yep. And they also have, I think, every 6 months a refeds global meeting. One at TNC and the other one's either online or they have had them actually at APM as well.
Normally there are 2 refeds physical meetings a year. And the first one is on TNC in the spring. The network conference, not the arena network conference anymore. And the second one is normally at TechX, Intent 2 TechX, Technical Exchange, in this year in Boston in December. And there is one. There was one yesterday, working group meeting in Copenhagen at the Time conference. Yeah, it was bad. No, it's in Copenhagen. Yeah. So yeah, we are trying to figure out how to do stuff. Right. If you want to know more about refeds anyway, I'm in the steering committee.
And we have actually run steering working group meetings, refeds meetings out of APAN from time to time, just so that this community can participate in the global community in a more effective way. Current activities and working groups, there's a whole bunch of them that they're working on various things. It's the assurance working group, and I'll talk to us about that shortly. Multi-factor authentication subgroup. It's a browser change and federations group, which is concerned about the issues coming with the change to the way browsers deal with cookies. The ND categories development group, the metadata registration practice statement update. That's actually in review at the moment, the current version of that. And there's a couple of other groups, the Federation Operators Group, and these are just communities that have a specific requirement or need. They want to have a sort of sub-community. And the Service Provider Operator Group. And they just basically run emailing groups and have discussions, Slack channels about those sorts of things.
This was last year's working groups.
Oh, right.
Yeah. I think that number 2, 3, and 4 are closed. There will be new open ones later this year.
Yep.
That was what we were talking about yesterday.
There's also the Refed Schema Editorial Board, which is responsible for various schemas managed and maintained by the Refeds community. I think we're both currently on that. We haven't met for a long time. Oh, you got out of that. All right. I'm on that one, but we haven't actually met for a while, but we look at these 3 schemas, the EduPerson schema, the virtual organization schema, and the SHAC schema. So these are about definitions of attributes that can be passed between identity providers and service providers, what they mean, what values they should hold. And we've been discussing and adding and growing these schemas over time. I think one of the most recent schema additions was to EduPerson. And that was about the person's title, to make it more generic than just Mr., Ms., and those sort of things, to make it more gender neutral, gender, whatever. So there's a few additions and tweaks to those schemes that come over time through this board. There's the SAML entity categories. There's a whole raft of those we'll be talking about tomorrow. Research and scholarship, anonymous access, pseudo-anonymous, personalized access, hide from discovery, code of conduct, and there's a number of entity attributes. It's a certified one, which we'll be talking about this afternoon, and some metadata extensions that they've worked through and defined, particularly to find a security contact within the metadata, so that that will support the certified entity category. So the types of frameworks is the assurance and the baseline expectations, some profiles, multi-factor, single factor, and error handling, and there's the schemas. So there's the baseline expectations. We're talking at the end of this session. It's just a list of required operational behaviours for identity providers, service providers, and federation operators to meet the Identity Federation baseline expectations for a common trust framework. Basically, it's making sure that everyone's doing the right thing to ensure that researchers can get to the services that they need to get to without issues. And it's about building and maintaining trust. Federation rules, sets, policies that are based on how to fulfill the baseline expectations for federations and its. And there's a bunch of links if you're interested in getting more information. There's links to email lists, there's YouTube channels, there's all sorts of good content there. So that's an overview of what ReFeds is. It's a policy-based organisation that does training, develops guidelines, develops policies, etc. Any questions on that? Fairly straightforward, and it's something you should be participating in. To jump in, have a look at what working groups are coming up. It's the working group time of the year, the new ones kicking off, and volunteer yourself or some of your staff to get involved in those working groups. By being involved, you'll get more visibility within ReFeds, they'll get more visibility of you, and everybody wins.
And it's totally possible to be silent in the beginning. You don't need to actively give information. You can take the way of working first, if you like to. That's totally okay. Yep. So I'm going to hand over to Farhan now. He's going to talk to us about his Superline Connect. Over to you, Farhan.
Okay, thank you. Give me a moment. Okay, so can you see my slide?
It's on its way, not there yet.
Okay.
No.
All right, thank you. All right, so good morning, everyone. Thank you for attending my talk today. So as I introduced myself earlier in this session, so there's no harm for me to repeat again, just in case. So my name is Farhan. I'm the Vice President for Engineering and Services at Sifulan Malaysian Access Federation. So today I would like to share about one of our killer service called Sifulan Connect that can help a federation operator or even your organization to join Identity Federation. So before I start, I would like to send my best regards to Prof. Kazu Yamaji. without his earlier support, maybe Sifulan won't be exist as per today. Okay, I made a statement before. So Sifulan is like a son of Gakunin because he was born there in Japan. And so Kazu is the father. Yeah, okay. All right, so let's start with my presentation today. So this is the what motivates us to develop the Sifulan Connect. So we have some challenges at the earlier stage to get more members into our federation. And I believe that this issue not only happen with us as well, but also happen with another federation operator as well. Now, so one of the issue is many research and education institution who are very interested to join Sifulan Federation have some technical limitations, such as they don't have a proper directory services, or they only have a limited technical competency, like maybe they're not familiar with the SAML protocol, or don't know how to install and configure the Cibullet IDP software, and so on, and also lack of computer resources in case of the long tail institution. And there are also cases where some research and education institutions has invested in implementing other identity management solution like Entra ID, for example, which is the new name for Azure AD, and then ADFS, CAS, among others. However, some of these solutions are either doesn't or hard to configure to support the Sifulan Federation or EduGain implementation model. Okay, so these are our motivation to develop our IDP as a service. Oops. So to overcome this problem, we developed a cloud-based software as a service solution for the IDP called Sifulan Connect. So with Sifulan Connect, the research and education institutions can have a web SSO solution or extend the scope of the existing web SSO solution for easier onboarding to the identity federation, so that they don't have to worry about all the technical challenges or all the technical difficulties in order for their organization to get on board to the identity federation. And also for those who already invested in setting up identity management solution, they don't have to change whatever setting that they have. They only simply need to connect their IDMS with Sifulan Connect so that the scope of the IDMS become extended. So Sifulan Connect has two implementation options, either fully hosted and also proxy. So fully hosted, basically, this is the case where the organization doesn't have any IDMS solution at all. Okay, so basically they start from nothing, from zero. So in this scenario, we provide everything, which is we help them to set up a directory service. We help them to set up the user or group management. We help them to set up a self-service portal for them to reset users' password. And it somewhat support the SAML 2.0 and also user statistic, which is another service we call as Sifulan Start. So fully hosted is ideal for a small organization or the organization that doesn't have any infrastructure to run identity federation. And the second mode, which is the most popular, the most common implementation in Sifulan members, is the proxy mode, where Sifulan Connect acts as the front end to the Sifulan Federation and EduGain. It supports various enterprise ADMS solutions such as Entra ID, ADFS, CAS, Google Internet Directory, NetIQ as the backend user authentication. Recently, we also support key clock as well as the back-end user authentication. So it extends the existing web SSO scope. Okay, so because most of the institution that has implemented IDMS in their institution, the scope usually just within the intranet application. Okay, so means that they use or they leverage SQL and Connect to extend the scope not only for intranet and also for internet or cloud application as well. So it's the same like a fully hosted. It also has is connected with SQL and Stat so that the administrator can see some statistic, how many users accessing certain services. So this is how we implement the SQL Connect. This is the typical implementation of SQL Connect in an organization. So basically, the institution we just simply connect SQL Connect with the either on-premise or cloud identity service through SAML protocol. But soon we'll also support OIDC as well, but there's an exception for cars. We use just an API to connect. So, and then from SQL Connect, either they can connect to the internal application, and also it can also connect to the SQL Federation and also Edugen. So this is the typical implementation of SQL Connect in an organization. So basically, they at the university side or at the organization that would like to join SQL Federation, we provide SQL Connect as a bundle into their federation subscription or membership. So they just simply need to connect the existing IDMS with SQL Connect. That's it. So this is the user statistic that can they collect. So means that the administrator can see how many users has been accessing certain services and so on. So this will give the sort of like a high level insight on what's happening in their organization, particularly on accessing a service. Not 100% accurate, but enough to give some indication for high level decision. So what is behind the scene on SQL Connect? Okay, so SQL Connect is built upon cloud native technology. So we use Kubernetes and also Linux container to run the service. So basically Kubernetes to manage all the container. So currently we are running the so-called like a second version of SQL Connect. I think last year or last 2 years we presented the first version of SQL Connect. Back then it was still called as SQL EID, but we changed the name to SQL Connect. So the earlier version used a unique container per IDP. So the pros is each IDP can have a unique setup without the need to think how the setup would affect the other IDP. So basically, it's totally contained. Everything can be highly customized based on that particular IDP. However, there's a consequences with that. It's a high maintenance effort, means that we need to maintain each repository for each IDP, and then when we have to update the core software, when we have to update the shibboleth software inside, it's a nightmare because just too much effort to just change the core software inside. So then we upgraded or we migrated from unique container per IDP into using Helm chart. So if you not familiar what is Helm, so Helm is a kind of application package manager for Kubernetes, something like a RPM or .deb in Linux. So we use a Helm chart to manage each IDP. and use a config map or secret to customize the setting inside. So the pros is low maintenance effort as each IDP share a common core software stack, and even we can deploy an IDP by using tools like a Ranger portal, because Ranger portal support Helm. So we can just put all the parameters that we need from the Ranger portal, and then the Ranger portal will help us to deploy the Sifulan Connect instance for the university. However, there is some consequences as well in this current version. Need to be careful when updating the Helm chart, and it may have some impact to some connectors. For example, let's say, okay, we want to do some update for Entra ID, but if you're not careful enough, it may affect the ADF setting for ADFS and so on. Basically, generally it's fine. It's just that we need to be careful a bit. And also, for example, let's say we would like to add special library like for CAS, means that this library also need to be available at some. For example, there is an instance running for Entra ID, so this library will also be available as well. Anyway, but that one is something minor that our team really careful when we do some before we release the Helm chart. So we'll do some lot of testing prior to that. So also when we want to do some update, it's much more easier because it share a common software stack. So updating Shibboleth to a newer version is much more easier. So and then currently Sifulan Connect has a partial support for IPv6 via Net64. So means any connection request from IPv6 network, it will be translated into IPv4 first at the moment, because the issue is with our initial Kubernetes cluster setup that wasn't set up with IPv6 support at the beginning. So unfortunately, to upgrade to support IPv6 natively is a non-trivial task. So we may need to rebuild the Kubernetes cluster from the beginning. So, but we have a plan to upgrade, do a major upgrade into our production Kubernetes cluster. So we'll include native IPv6 support, so that the IPv6 can be fully supported at the next major upgrade on the infrastructure, because we're also planning to change the network component from Kernel to Cilium for a better or more fine-grained networking setting. Also, Sifulan Connect generally support Rivet's MFA profile. However, it depends on which IDMS solution as the backend authenticator. For example, with the Entra ID, it works very well. So it supports MFA authentication on demand, but with Google it's a bit tricky, because the problem is Google doesn't support MFA on demand. And many organizations, there are some organizations opt for MFA on demand because it depends on the sensitivity of the application itself. If just a web application where you just want to see your class schedule, or you just want to see something that non-sensitive, the information is not non-sensitive, then you don't need to perform MFA authentication. But when they need to access a portal or application that has sensitive information, then or require a higher level of assurance, only then the apps need the IDP need to authenticate the user using MFA. So this is a case study where we implement Sifulan Connect at the Malaysian Public Polytechnic and Community Colleges. So currently Malaysia has a total of 140 polytechnics and community colleges combined, spread out across the country. In 2002, the Polytechnic and Community Colleges Department of Ministry of Higher Education has kicked off a project to improve the resource services, particularly on the Wi-Fi, using EduRoam, library remote access, and library management system, which is centralized system at all public polytechnic and community colleges. So to ensure that each polytechnic and community colleges has equal capability and capacity to access decentralized service. So for each polytechnic and community college, we deploy Sifulan Connect and use Microsoft Entra ID as the IDMS or as the backend authenticator. The reason why we are using Microsoft Entra ID because all these polytechnic and community colleges has already subscribed to Microsoft Office 365 and Microsoft 365 already come together with Microsoft Entra ID. So rather than sitting there alone without any other use other than to authenticate to Office 365, then we make use of that opportunity, of that facility to authenticate the user to access federated service as well. So the impact to the user almost impactless because they're already used to log into Microsoft 365. We don't need to teach them how to log in again, except for certain application like the library resources, they may need to know how to do institutional login access, that's it. But in terms of key in username password, as long as they are familiar with the login to Microsoft 365, then business as usual. Okay, so the user just need to perform authentication once at Entra ID to access all the services, including EduRoam, as I shared yesterday. So we integrated the Sifulan Connect to the Get EduRoam service. So they use that to obtain an EduRoam credential. So for access to the library resources like databases or journals is facilitated by Sifulan Federation and also Sifulan Proxy, which is a new service as well that I will provide some update later during the Federation updates. So, and then Sifulan Connect is also integrated with Sifulan Start, which capture each authentication event. And this information is supplied to the department for the high-level analytics. And since Entra ID has a built-in MFA features, hence the user can also access any resources which require MFA in addition to the username and password authentication. Since Sifulan Connect support MFA pass-through for Entra ID. So this is how the diagram is pretty much the same like the common or typical implementation, except there is no local director service. So the local administrator just need to manage the user as usual at Microsoft Entra ID, and then we connect them to Sifulan Connect. Then from here, they can access internal application like the library management system. And for the journal, they can go to here, to the Sifulan Federation. So then what's next for 2024? We plan to have a dashboard for the service operator, which is us, because some of the management, we still done it manually by either using the Ranger portal or Kubernetes command line. And we hope to have a dashboard soon or the web-based interface so that we can manage it easily. And also for the system administrator, because at the moment, any customization request or update to the setting, they need to tell us or raise a request for support to do the update but generally we don't mind to do so because since it's a paid service anyway, so means they entitled to that kind of support. But in future we may allow them to do some changes in the system on their own. Also, we plan to upgrade the networking component from Canal to Cilium for better network configuration in more detail. And also, we plan to set up a regional POP for service resilience, maybe at a certain geographical area, but still in the plan, but we haven't found a suitable site yet for this. And also we're looking for dual protocol support, SAML and OIDC. And this is quite important as well. We will open Sifulan Connect subscription for other federation member soon. So you may contact me or you can drop me an email if you are interested. It means that it doesn't mean that, oh, if you subscribe Sifulan Connect from us, you have also access to Sifulan Federation. No, the eligibility for Sifulan Federation membership still remain the same. You need to be research and education recognized research and education institution registered in Malaysia. So, but if let's say you are in your federation, you only have a few members, and so you would like to make your task or job easier, so you can let your the university in your country to subscribe our Sifulan Connect, and we will help them to set up a Sifulan Connect instance and connect to your federation. So, and they may get the same benefit in terms of support with the local Sifulan Connect user here in Malaysia. Okay, so I think actually we already started to open for trial for some countries. Okay. All right, thank you. Any question?
So great work you guys are doing in Malaysia. I've got a question about what are your plans for OIDC?
Just
that services that are connecting to your federation?
At the moment, there is no OIDC application yet that connect to our service, but there are some IDMS that only support OIDC. So means that when we want to connect their IDMS with Sifulan Connect, then it need to use OIDC.
That's an IDP connection.
Yeah, because there's one case at the moment that they custom built the IDMS solution. It uses OIDC, and they're looking forward to because at the moment we use another alternative, but it would be great if we can natively connect their IDMS with our Sifulan Connect, but it has to support OIDC in order to work.
We've been supporting OIDC services coming into our federation for a long time now. We're extending that, so we've got a couple of hundred OIDC services in our federation because we find service providers find it easier to connect through OIDC than SAML.
Yeah.
The other question, or more a comment, I was speaking to Toby from Hong Kong the other day, and they are using our old Federation Manager tool from AAF, which we've deprecated years ago, and they'll probably be looking for a option to run their Federation. So I've pointed Toby in your direction. So he may have or will be maybe contacting you to have a discussion.
We are still using Jagger for the Federation Manager, but running on Kubernetes.
Yep.
Mhm.
There any other questions from the audience? Yep. Microphone coming.
But my question is related to the security of the information and the users. If there is, in case if there is any cyber attack, how it can be managed. This is my first question about the security. And the second question in a kind of remarks, if suppose someone from country like us, Pakistan, is attached to your network, they and that that is in a college somewhere, like in a community college, the academic system is quite different from varying from country to country. How that will be managed? And a third, just quick question about the licensing. What are the fee of the licensing of the software used in the system?
Okay.
I hope you got my question.
Yeah, I got your question. So for the first question regarding the security, so it depending which mode that you use, but if we are looking at the proxy mode, which is used by 95% of our Sifulan Connect subscriber. So we don't store any username and password, rather than we just, for example, let's say there's an authentication request come from the EduGain or from our federation, we'll just forward them into their IDMS system. So the user key in the username password at their organization IDMS system. So if let's say they are using Microsoft Entra ID, for example, so it becomes the responsibility of the partial responsibility of Microsoft to make sure that the Entra ID is secure. So if their backend authentication is on-premise solution, like a key clock, for example, then it becomes fully responsibility of the institution to make sure that the user directory is fully secure. So after the user do perform the authentication, then the IDP will send the attribute to Sifulan Connect, and we'll sort of like reformat them or repackage them in such that compatible with the Sifulan Federation or the EduGain. Okay, so basically we don't store any user information. Okay, the only thing that we only store is, even like for the statistic, the FTIX, we don't know who's the user. We only know that, okay, this user, because it's already anonymized, accessing a service, but who is the person, we don't know. Okay, so of course there is a way to know that, but by default we don't do that. Only when there's a request from the university to do so, only then we'll do that. And even is at the very limited, not that detail. So that's the first question. So the second question is regarding the implementation at community colleges in Pakistan, where the directory service is or the user management system is not properly set up. Yeah, number one is we need to have at least a tidy directory service in order to in order for the identity federation to work well. Okay, so but the easiest way is to leverage some cloud services, because now many organizations at least have either Office 365 or Google Workspace, at least the free one for the education. Then we can leverage that as the directory service, because generally it's already tidy, but you need to maintain the account just to make sure that when the user is not longer in the organization, you delete them or you disable the account. And for the student and staff, you need to have proper differentiation. Otherwise, we may have some challenges to differentiate between staff and users for attribute. Okay, so and then in terms of usually right after the like a Cifran Connect, usually we do some kind of basic linting. Okay, so let's say if the information that come from the IDP is not really fit with the standard in the EduGain or Cifran Federation, then we help to reformat a bit the information. It depends on the severity. If too severe, so we ask them to fix it. But if not that severe, then we can help to do some kind of mapping. So in terms of implementation in Pakistan, because as long as the federation over there compatible with the EduGain Federation, then Cifran Connect can be used. But for sure, what is the name of federation in Pakistan? I forgot. PKFed, right? Yeah. As long as the PKFed, but for sure PKFed is compliant with the EduGain. Otherwise, they may also have difficulties to interconnect with each other.
In Australia, we have a very similar setup to what Farhan has. For our IDPs, they're just a conduit between the university's identity system and the service. And we store no user data on the way through. All of our infrastructure is in AWS. So we use a lot of the AWS tooling to secure our infrastructure. And we have regular pen tests of our infrastructure. And we get those reports and we improve our tooling based on the responses from those. And our pen tests come back fairly benign, little things that are issues. We get onto them fairly quickly and ensure that we do that. And that's just to build the trust within our community. So I expect you're looking to build the trust in your community around the thing. So Farhan, where do you house your infrastructure?
At the moment, we using our own infrastructure. So we purchase our own server and store it in a proper data center. So maybe later may leverage the cloud infrastructure, either Azure or AWS. But at the moment, it's more cost effective to run our own physical server rather than going to the cloud at the moment.
Running cloud in AWS is an expensive hobby, but
Oh, yeah.
Australia's fairly rich, so we can afford to do that.
Yeah, yeah.
Running your own infrastructure, making sure it's secure is important.
Yeah, yeah.
We have another question?
Mr. Farhan?
Yep.
Okay, Khadija from UC Malaysia. So,
Hello.
okay. I love the idea in supporting the OIDC and who seem willing to be the test bed. Yeah. Okay. So
Yep.
but my question is, are you considering because Malaysia already launched My Identity. So are you considering Sifulan to integrate with the My Identity in future?
Why not? I mean, if the policy and the technology profile are compatible and permit, why not? Because there's a similar model in Europe, I think. There's a peering between the EIDAS, which is the Federation for National Identity Federation, and with the EduGain. I think I saw that kind of implementation. Yeah, why not? Because we are not competing each other. It's just the scope of the audience is totally different. We're more focused on the research and education community, where the national digital ID for general citizen, right? So there's a possibility of overlapping each other. Yeah, why not? Because okay, for example, like if let's say you are running MOOC online learning, for example, right? So for the user convenience, you want to accept login from Identity Federation. For example, let's say there's a student in Australia would like to take the Malay language courses from USIM, for example, so they can use their university login that will go through AAF and then go through EduGain and then go through Civil Federation, then at the end goes to your website portal. But there is also, for example, Malaysian citizen that would like to subscribe to your service and would like to use their digital ID and yeah, just accept on that point of view. So it's really case-to-case basis. So, and we definitely will have a healthy environment because we are not competitor each other. It's just the scope is different. There are some similarity in technology profile, which is good. Means that the potential of compatibility is high, and yeah, there's a very good model in Europe for the eIDAS. Maybe if Paul there, maybe Paul can also explain how is the interaction between EduGain and also eIDAS in Europe.
Let's see. Now it's working. ADAS is national EIDs in every EU country, more or less every EU country, not everyone. It's citizen login. What EduGain and the national federations does is organizational login. That's a big difference. Because when you are logging in by Identity Federation in academics, you get organizational attributes, like you are an employee, you have that mail address in the organization, and so on and so on. When you're logging in with a national EID, you get a national identifier and a name. That's it. You don't get any information on who they really are in conjunction with your community. So what we are doing in some cases is that we have a proxy between, of course, a proxy. There is always proxies nowadays. Ciflan Connect is a proxy that adds organizational data. Then you need to manage that, of course. And that is a pain in the ass. Sorry to say, yeah. So there is a difference between citizen access to services and organizational users access to service.
We're also trying to solve the citizen access to our services, not just citizen, but researchers who aren't in the education, like researchers who are in government, researchers who are commercial researchers. How do we bring them into our federation? Because not the whole organization will be part of or want to join the federation. It's just their research sub-community that we want into the federation. So we've been struggling with that question for a number of years. I think we're coming to a solution, but it's a very difficult one.
So for instance, especially, the life science people belong to some organization, but SSH people, the social and humanities people doesn't, belong to the organization, but still want to do the research as a person. So how to invite them to the, our audience platform or their platform. So that's going to be the, our kind of problem. And also the collaboration with the enterprise people. So we are trying to, of course, bridge between the different federation, like a business people or institute for the research collaborators.
So for our solution on that, it's a guest IDP, where you use a citizen ID to create your guest account in the academics. Because we need to have more information. We need to set some boundaries on how to do stuff and things like that.
Yeah, that's right.
We also need to make them pay.
That's a difference in how you fund stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We also have in Sipulan called Sipulan Virtual Home. It's sort of like a guest IDP, but at the moment it's still manually registered. We haven't allow general public to create an account into our Sipulan Virtual Home yet. Because if not handled carefully, because it may translate it differently by this, because we want to encourage the university to join the federation rather than each individual users request an account at virtual home to access a federated service.
So I have a comment that there is a new operations group within REFETS that will start up this year called EduID Operations Group. EduID is the common name within Europe for IDPs that are not hosted at the home organization, but at the central point somewhere. And they are starting up to be so many that we are thinking we need an operation group for that to be able to support the usage and make it good usage.
So in your introduction about the leaflets, you said something of the VO person or something. So is it related to this kind of, the orphan inclusive project?
It's more about virtual organizations. And especially for research, because research projects are more or less all the time outside organization boundaries. And home organization IDPs are within organizational boundaries. So VO person is an LDAP scheme or an attribute scheme to handle VO attributes.
So that handles group membership, other stuff like that, for a community rather than organization, where members come from many organizations. Last one.
Yeah, sorry, the last one. The Farhan, do you have a price list open in public? I mean, your full IDP hosting and proxy IDP hosting.
Okay, so for Malaysia is packaged together with Cifran Federation membership. So if you subscribe to Cifran Federation, then you get Cifran Connect all together. For the other countries, we still are formulating the pricing model.
So you mean without getting any extra charge?
No, for Malaysia,
really?
no, there's no extra charge. Yeah, altogether. Well, of course, there's because we look Cifran Connect as the enabler. If we don't, for example, if let's say if we exclude Cifran Connect as an add-on, so likely the university has some hesitation to join because of the complexity setting up the IDP. So basically the idea, we just make it easy for people to join the federation. So, okay, let's just package them together.
We're also moving in that direction. Join the federation, you get an IDP for free. But we've got different tiers based on your size, how much research income you get, a whole number of factors. We'll put them in different tiers, which you pay more for effective full-time use of the staff member.
Yeah, and also if they're using Cifran Connect, means that it's easier for us to ensure that to set up the baseline expectation. So make sure that all the IDP release the information correctly to the service provider. If they opt to, okay, I just want to use a key clock, directly connect to Federation, we don't know what kind of information that will go out and how to meet the standard, and at the end it make our life much more difficult. So
You're
just to
also
make
making
our
sure-
life,
You're
yeah,
also making sure that all the IDPs are at the latest version, which is part
Yeah.
of certify baseline process. I'm going to call questions to a halt, and I'm going to call on Deputy to give us her update right now, because we only have 10 minutes before morning tea, and then we'll carry on with the other presentations after morning tea.
Okay. May I take this out? Sorry. Good morning, and I am here to just talk about what we did in last few months. I think most of here, like the people here are not like they don't know about LIAF much. However, LIAF, Learn Identity Access Federation, and to become a member, our like the members to become the member in LIAF, they have to become a member of Learn. Become a Learn member, they have to be under UGC in Sri Lanka, UGC funded institutes. So currently we have 50 plus members, Learn members, and almost, I am not saying that all the members are in LIAF, but most are in LIAF. Wait. Okay. These are the statistics, like number of members in Learn Federation. There are no 19 service providers. There are like 11, some are under testing. And that one. Only one service provider is connected to EduGain. This is the statistics to LIAF to EduGain. And 35 is connected to EduGain. In actually, when we are talking about the connecting to EduGain, it's ops in, not ops out. So they have to ask, like, request from us to connect to EduGain. Okay. And again, let me share my presentation. Okay. Actually, still our killer app is Zoom. Like with the Node project, we provided free Zoom license to all the members, like all the users in all the users who are using Zoom accounts. We are our federation. All are free, like all were free, but currently there's no free license to provide. So actually, Learn has an agreement with Zoom, and I haven't mentioned the pricing here, but I think they are providing a Zoom license, $24 per year per user. It's that pricing is only for Learn member. If they have Learn Connectivity and Collectivity Plus membership, then they are providing a license for $12 per year. So that's the agreement with Learn, like we have with Zoom. And actually, we are providing some cohort of some cohort of Zoom accounts according to their connectivity, like some cohort of number of Zoom license got into their bandwidth. We have some kind of calculation. I don't know about the calculation, but then they are providing some small amount, and if they want, they can have more license for them. And currently we have VCR, virtual classroom. We had recently we had a workshop, and we try to promote it, like actually not promoting over Zoom, but we are asking them to try that course. Let's say if somehow Zoom goes down, like Zoom goes down means with the current situation in Sri Lanka, if we would not able to purchase the license, we have to have some kind of some kind of solution for that. So in Learn, currently we have VCR, and you can just check. I don't think you can log in. If you want to log in, I can provide, not today, but I can provide some test account to check that. It's actually a big blue button. And so we are encouraging some people, like, or not all institutes can purchase the license to all the users. So they can try VCR. It's totally free. Actually, in Learn, all the services are free unless these are licensing thing. And actually, we updated our federation registry with the latest one, and also Discovery Service and EduVPN, and almost, I am not saying that all the IDPs, but most of IDPs with 4.3.1, and including we updated EduIT IDP servers and all LLabs, and even okay. And the challenges also I didn't mention here. Oh no, it's going to be on the future plans. Okay. The challenges. Yes, resources, and first, lack awareness of academics and researchers means like currently, even I mentioned this in last one, like last APAN, because of the crisis and all the things going on in Sri Lanka, the people are leaving Sri Lanka, so we have these kind of challenges, even academics and researchers, and a lack of experience, and lack of international services used by academics. Sometimes, even though they want to use, they are not mentioning, like they are not asking for us. Like sometimes we don't know what they need, right? Even we are asking, like in every workshop we are organizing, we are asking them to request if they need anything, like, and a lack of campus identity systems in some institutes. Like recently, I think a few institutes joined to Learn, and sometimes, even though they have, I am not saying full capability, but there are some kind of limitations. So because of those things, they have no IDPs with them. Even like Sri Lanka, we can't use cloud. It's not like, it's a policy in Sri Lanka, so we can't host our things in cloud servers. So because of those kind of thing, I can remember in like a month or two, some institute couldn't get their IDP. So we provided some other way to get their job done. And lack of trust among engineers, not in Learn, but in some institutes. And we are not saying the lack of humans. We had almost many resourceful people, and since resourceful people are leaving and have to practice the new ones by ourselves, so because of that we had even I have mentioned that in last one we had some basic workshops even for them, even like we had some basic Linux workshops also. Sometimes actually, like sometimes it's kind of difficult to get them to do their job done, because actually I am myself, and our senior manager is the one who, like, I'm the mainly who is supporting, and our manager is supporting me if there's anything. And even sometimes when we have to, like if we face some kind of difficulties, then we have to get engaged the people from the institute. So to that, we have actually we have practice. We have practiced them means we have given them opportunities to participate in workshops. Actually, they are all free, all accommodation and all the things are free from Learn. And sometimes they come and get the practices and all the things and leave the institutes. So we can't help that. And when you're talking about the future plans, increase the number of IDPs, actually that's not going to be a huge number, but maybe 10 or 12 IDPs, because almost all the IDPs are in LIAF. Even Dr. Sugandhima's institute, like that university, has 6 IDPs for 6 faculties, and more awareness programs for academics and students and researchers. And even I think we are going to have some kind of workshop. I think it's going to be a kind of international workshop with I think UNESCO, I can't remember exactly, and collaborating with Learn. And implement monitoring analysis tools, and introduce SAML-based authentication to all other Learn provider services and increase SPs. Actually, even like BCR, we want other institutes to have some services, and finalize Shibboleth V5 manual after testing. Because even Terry, I think Terry knows that I just confused with some metadata, and I asked whether there is some how many number of keys there or something. Like 3 keys, yeah. 2 keys, yeah. And we have to finalize the manual. And MF enabling, and we have to, oh sorry, not IPD, IDP as a service. It will take some time, not much time, because we are going to like recruit some person who needs to spend his all time with Kubernetes. And currently many Kubernetes, like we have kind of 2 clusters, one for Big Blue Button and other one for Moodle as a service. We are providing some institutes the service Moodle as a service because they have no resources to like they have no more resources, like they have no more people and resources to handle their own Moodle. So we are providing that also. And also there's I haven't mentioned that these days we are testing some kind of how to integrate Shibboleth with Nginx. We have initiated like trying to do researches to how to do it, and let's see how that's going. And thank you. And if you have anything, please ask. All right. Thank you.
Yes, that's going to be tricky. Afternoon, we'll get you in the afternoon. So it's 36 past. We're back here at 11, so you got 25 minutes for morning tea. And then we'll be straight into Pal's presentations. Unless Vlad turns up and wants to leave early, but I haven't seen him yet.
Open to do it now after, and I can also do it later this afternoon, and I can do it tomorrow. So I'm fully flexible. Good afternoon, sir.